Hello and welcome. This is Diana, and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be for the sign of Gemini. Happy birthday. Hope you are doing well. I think this is going to be like the energy feels fast because it is like your birthday month. So we have values, happiness, and judgment. Don't project your faults. Find joy in your daily. And what makes up your beauty? Is there a lack of courage? Politics, going with the flow. There's like a postponement before the like execution, before like the liftoff. There's and maybe there's like a little bit of like this angst or this heart heaviness. Of like the emotions or it's kind of like a recap of the year is kind of what I'm getting. It's swim and the leopard frog and the deer mouse. What more tenderness would help? Flowers. It's like this divine taking action. Maybe there's something happening in a marriage or with a marriage, or your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. Just be careful. Be clear in the what it is that you're like pulling into your reality. Maybe you've been like staring at like a camping fire or something, because it is the start of like camping. Um, you could be seeing a red-tailed hawk in your day-to-day. I keep getting there's like this unsureness of like of wanting to be generous or wanting to take a leap of faith or wanting to be in a state of like peace or alignment or like showing kindness to somebody else. It's like kind of like a nesting type energy. Um, and the question is like, where have you been bleak when in fact you should have been in a state of happiness or in a state of, yeah, there's like this angelic, like reflectiveness of like them coming in and helping you. Like, some people may not see like that blessing or a curse is a blessing, or like something that happens, robbery, a fire, embezzlement, like something in a negative state, right? That should be unfortunate. It's kind of like, yeah, it's not seeing the clouds through the trees. It's the you couldn't see all of the puzzle pieces of what this next phase is going to bring you, right? It's kind of like once the door's shut to like wherever you've been, all of a sudden like the spell work falls away, it's kind of like the spell casting. It's like the spiritual spell casting. It's essentially when beauty spells no longer work. It all of a sudden, you like So get in the habit, for those of you, sorry you guys, it's just kind of like coming through because you're showing me a bunch of different like scenarios. And so like one of the things that you can do is whenever you are in a state of shit's falling apart, things are hitting the fan, like you don't know what to do, all you feel is the negativity and you feel lack. It's like trusting in the divine abundance of like what is meant for you will always come, right? And however your story's been manipulated or impeded, or how you've had to come into your own divine values or your own divine connection, it's kind of like understanding like that you are consciously manifesting in every single moment. So by whatever you're projecting out into your reality, it's then coming back to you. And it's like understanding the duality of that nature, it's going to shift you into a state of abundance and into a state of like divine like prosperity. It's like no longer, no, not allowing yourself to settle in what your reality is and what your desires are. It's kind of like you're not even acknowledging the where you've been. You're only focusing on the prosperity of like your heart's desires. You could dwell in heartache and sorrow and oh poor me, right? But when you're actively consciously creating in every single moment, you're shifting the way you are transcending through your relationships, through your environment, through your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, the way you love, like your vision of what it looks like for you to be in a state of peace, in a state of refinement, in a state of prosperity. Like that's really like your co-focus, and the destruction of like whatever's been binding you or holding you back. It literally can't attach to your energetic frequency. It's like it can't, like you're like butter. They're like you're like butter baby. I don't know. It sounds like Rodney Dangerfield. I think that's hilarious. Um, but you know, it's you really coming into a state of like your own peace through your own honoring of like your ego's fears. It says, I know my shadow side and I work willingly to transform the aspects of it, right? And as you like deepen into your own divine prosperity, like how you love yourself right where you're at, and you take a step back into your own like perspective or projective, right? Because we're constantly creating, we're constantly projecting things out. And again, Mercury in retro is coming up. So as you're like kind of opening up your style of communication of how you want to speak, how you want to love, what you believe is your own truth, like all of a sudden like you're claiming back your power because you're no longer like not walking with your ancestors. Like you're asking the questions that need to be asked, and like you're getting answers to those questions, right? Like it's almost like you're so divinely protected, you're unfuckwithable. They can't even impede. It's like the minute you feel something, it's clear, cancel, release. It's literally like you instantaneously like identifying in your auric field, like what's happening, there's a shift, and you claiming back like your, it's kind of like claiming back like your true essence of the who you are, like not operating out of your old wounds. It's you creating your new, like through this meditation, like you're actively creating and choosing a brand new timeline, a brand new response. No, sorry, that was weird. I didn't, are they upside down? Do not mistake sensory overload for true love. And that happens, right? When we're in a state of codependency, in childlike wonder. And again, it can be a soulmate connection. It can be something where you feel it extremely deeply. It can have forms of telepathy, right? It can feel very risky and very uneasy in your process, right? And you could very well have been reading your Akashic record and understanding like the why, the how come, it's kind of like looking at all the different play actors or the different parts and identifying and seeing all the obstacles that you had to go through and still walking in divine truth, like walking through, like being in a state of sorrow, right? Being in a state of like a recaptiveness of like, okay, I had my head in the clouds during that time. Okay, this is the way I responded. And as you're kind of like allowing the divine to retemper your energy or rebalance your energetic frequency, it's like as you move towards a state of peace and out into a state of peace and love and like a state of reflectiveness, you're literally writing new codes so that you're not conforming to anybody else outside of you. It's like kind of like you walk fully with you, and there's nothing outside of you that's going to sway you in a different manner. Does that make sense? It's kind of like you're taking back like your own, like the what you want to do in this lifetime. Like you're not living by somebody else's projection of the who you are. And it's through like whatever you're taking a risk on, whatever you're taking a leap of faith on, like maybe you wrote yourself a love note, or maybe you wrote a note to somebody else and said, regardless of what it is, I'm releasing it and letting it go. At least I've said my piece, right? And there comes a time in that reflective period where you then show divine grace and you allow an individual to go through the karma they need to go through, and you kind of displace and release. And so it's like that, it's that, okay, I've planted my seeds, I've nurtured, I'd watered, and now it's time for me to just pluck the fruit. Now it's time for me to like walk in divine faith without impediment, knowing that the divine has me and trust is on my side, like truth is on my side. At a certain point, like you have to say whatever transpired previously, that's because it had to go out of my field. And I'm telling you, it's like once you start shifting your reality where you're no longer, it's kind of like holding on to that like heart heaviness. And don't get me wrong, like tons of bad shit is going to happen. Why? Because if you are indigo, or if have like extrasensory gifts, like they've been gunning for you because they knew your DNA, they knew what was awoken within you. And so it's like, as you claim your victory and as you claim your sovereignty, and as you claim your inner knowing, and you start like understanding the separations through like the lessons that you've had to learn up to this point, like you gain more clarity, you gain more sovereignty, you gain more awareness. You then can separate your shadows or the incandescent parts of you that you've yet to show, right? They're there, you know they're there, but the world doesn't know they're there. That's kind of what they're showing me. And there's some kind of a key in your childhood that is going to bring you like this. It's kind of like this activation of a rebirthing phase in a state of playing, in a state of clear understanding of what your vision is as you're moving forward. So take a moment and just kind of like ground your energy, right? And take an exhale out and allow yourself to just kind of get connected back in with the earth, disconnecting any parts of you that have been an open funnel for like lower energies or keeping you stuck from like your core values. Whether or not it was like a sorrow, a break-in, some kind of something that kept you in a state of angst. And honor the where you've been, and just say, okay, whatever is like active in my lower back and in my lower heart, I acknowledge and see you. And just take a deep breath, and I'm going to remove it out of your field, right? Good. And then I think we should pull in like that. What is that color? Is that a maroon? It's like a maroon pink, purple, like more like this color. Just fill any gaps, any impediments, any hooks, lures, anything that you've been walking around with. Just kind of take it in and then allow it to release, right? And so if any of you need to like work with your ancestors or like a lineage that is a spirit guide, right? That is going to, I mean, they're saying you can work with these energies. You can learn to understand that energy frequency, right? There's always somebody that's running a defense for you, right? There's somebody who's always going to be tackling for you. You may not see it, but you're going to know it because it's going to be really obvious when negative stuff is starting to unfold. And as long as you just pause in the process, contemplate, and then continue about your process, like it's going to move you in the right direction. And you're probably already doing this. But it's just going to be something that is going to get like stronger over time, is what they're saying, to where you're going to see through the manipulation. You're going to no longer allow other people to like write your ticket of like what it is that you're trying to manifest in your current reality. It's like you're going to pause and you're instantaneously going to know, right? And maybe you see a hawk before there's certain events that happen or individuals that you come in contact with, and you're going to be like, oh, that's what that's about. It's kind of like they're going to give you signs and signals that are going to push you into a state where you're not walking in a state of like uneasiness or unsureness. It's no, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt X, Y, Z. And you're going to see that because they're going to give you signs and signals that are going to end up reflecting that, right? Whether it's a particular type of flower or whether it's a certain bush, like you're going to end up understanding, oh, the divine is working in my favor. Oh, this happened in my, to help me in X, Y, and Z. And it's like you can also ask them and say, hey, this is the sign I would prefer for that you give to me as we proceed forward. I don't know, but it's going to be one of those things that you are going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are walking in the divine's path, and that your guides are literally helping push you along. Like it's not an impediment, and you're going to understand like specifically when the roadblocks happen, like, and that it was a negative force, right? And you can rebuke it, and you can claim your own sovereignty and clear your own energy. Whoever has tight shoulders, just identify it and say, I'd like it removed. And it will remove. And I would pull in green for you if that is something that resonates with you. 1322 could be relevant for somebody. 28. And the person that's been like looking for flowers, like pull in pink, because that's going to be like if you've been really drawn to flowers, like you need to get something pink. And that's going to put your heart and your aura in the heart center. Um, yeah. I'm going to leave that there. Yeah. If something in this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you would like a reading or a healing, I do have some sessions open, and all the information in that is below. Until next time, be well. Ciao.